Forgive me, YouTube, for I have sinned. It has been well over a year since my last update on my cold fusion experiment. I am sorry about that, and I'm here today just to tell you about what happened and what I've been doing and what I'm currently interested in today. So yes, we're going to cast our minds back to 2020, January 24th, when I tweeted about this experiment, which I got very excited about. And this was a cold fusion experiment that was a hybrid of the work of Les Case from the 90s and Mizuno from 2019. Now, Les Case's work was high pressure deuterium gas with a very special, very niche coconut shell carbon from like one very specific Pacific island. Couldn't get hold of it, so that's why I hybridized it with the Mizuno work that just used some very conventional materials, nickel mesh, palladium, rubbed on the mesh, that was it. But the Mizuno work had low pressure, and I couldn't do that with my equipment. So it was kind of a perfect hybridization. And then I produced this experiment, which I got stupidly excited about because there was this temperature rise and it was more than what I was expecting. And so I thought, have I cracked it? Have I done cold fusion? And got excited, but then because I'm a good scientist, I thought, Matthew, be careful, wait, check your diagnostics, upgrade your power supply. I did all those things and the effect just went completely away. And so, I think this image from one of my favorite artists really sums up the process very well, right? Science is all about proving yourself wrong in some sense, and that's exactly what happened. So no hard feelings in a sense, but of course one can't help but be a little bit disappointed. Yes, for those people who have not been following along with my channel for very long, check out Twitter, because I put some bite-sized chunks about the experiments I was doing, so it's very digestible. And if you want to dig deeper, then just head over to GitLab, which is where I've put my experimental log for all to see. So yes, it was a long shot to think that I could combine the Mizuno and the Case work together and get a result, but they individually produced so much heat, or at least they reported it, that I thought maybe with my crude equipment I could see a small signal, but alas, it was not meant to be, and that is life. Of course, also what happened around 2020 was COVID, and that changed a lot of people's lives. My work situation had to change along with a lot of other people's work situations, and so that just basically meant I had less time for experiments. And again, that is life. I've not completely removed myself from the cold fusion business, so to say. Still interested in what's going on, and I'm currently working with Alan Smith, who is here, looking great, Alan. He is an administrator of the LENA forum, and LENA stands for Low Energy Nuclear Reactions, which is kind of synonymous with cold fusion to some degree. And me and him are interested in the work of Frank Gordon and his lattice energy converter, which sounds cool and it is interesting. Not going to go into the detail today. Just, I will say it's a very simple and cheap setup that's doing some strange things that people think might be cold fusion. And so, of course, that piques my interest and Alan's interest, particularly because of that cheap, simple kind of idea, because that's such a bonus. So I'm working with him in his lab on the outskirts of Romford, and so that means no more bedroom experiments for me for the time being, and you can definitely look forward to a lot more regular updates about my cold fusion experiments, and indeed just generally more updates on casual physics. So you can look forward to that in the weeks and months ahead. And just once again, thank you very much for still being here. I really appreciate it, and I'm sorry once again for just being kind of AWOL for so long. And yes, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks again for your time and attention, and I'll see you soon.